What up, y'all? Welcome back to another Stereo Vision video.
What is good? Happy end of 2024.
Back with our Song of the Year video, man. 20 of our favorite songs from the year 2024. Another great year for music. I'm excited to hear what you guys have. This is going to be like the most high variance list, I think.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to have a lot of overlap, I think. Maybe at the top we'll have some songs.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this one. We just filmed our album of the year. So if you're watching this and haven't seen that yet, it'll be somewhere linked. Go check that out.
We're wearing the same clothes.
Yeah, I feel like this one is a little bit lower stakes. You can kind of have a little more fun with it. Throw in like slaps you just really like. You don't have to think about everything as such a larger piece of art. You know what
That's
I mean?
how I looked at it. The songs that I maybe didn't get to give a lot of shine to through the album list and stuff like that, I definitely wanted to highlight on this. You want to get started, Spencer?
Yeah, let's get into it. So at number 20, for my 20th song of the year, I have Mutt by Leon Thomas, the remix featuring Freddie Gibbs. I wanted to include a song off this album because it was an incredible album, obviously, that we all really enjoyed. This was just the standout to me. It was released as a single. I think Freddie bodied his voice, and I think it's just fire. I'm a dog. I'm a mutt. You know what I mean? Like, I love the energy of this track, and I just slapped it a ton. So that's 20 for me.
My number 20 song of the year was On Their Way by Lucky. I really wanted to give the Gemini album some sort of praise on this. I think that was a really strong body of work for him. This is the intro, kind of sets the tone. If you know Lucky and you're a fan of his music, you're going to love this song. But maybe if you haven't liked him all the way, this beat might grab you. Yeah. It feels epic. It feels really big. I think this is one of his stronger tracks of the year.
My number 20 song is Darling I by Tyler, the Creator.
Okay.
In an album where I didn't feel like had a bunch of standouts, I feel like Darling I was my favorite track. Definitely just very relatable, you know what I mean, in this phase of life. Something about him just being honest about not being able to commit, but also just like falling in love with different people for different reasons. I really like the messaging of the song, and I think in terms of the overall theme of the album of him growing older, I think it fit. But yeah, I don't know. This was my favorite track off Chromacopia for sure.
At number 19, I have Free Fall by Thames featuring J. Cole.
Nice.
A track we all mentioned in the album video. Like an impeccable song, like a really fire song. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, whoa, this really dropped this year. J. Cole's, he's a feature guy for sure.
Definitely.
That might be hate. Some people might not like me calling him that, but like obviously one of the better feature artists of our generation. And this is like the peak to me of what he can do, like jumping into another style and also like understanding kind of the situation.
Definitely.
And not trying to do too much. He added the perfect little sauce,
Oh, they hand off to each other perfectly on that song. I think that's a match made in heaven. My number 19 song of the year is Real Feel by Skywater. I was not that tapped into Skywater. And I think that this being the intro on the new album, Gigi, is the perfect way to get into his music. Really just amazing production. Something that has to be played at high volumes.
Yeah.
100%.
My number 19 is Yayo by Rema. Rema definitely took a lot of risk with his new project. Much darker tones, much darker vibes. And I think this is a real standout on the project. It's a little bit more mainstream, a little bit more what we're used to in terms of like an Afrobeat song. But I think it mixes the old elements really well with the new. Definitely a super slap. If you haven't listened to the album, at least give it a few listens and try and pull out different tracks. But this to me is a standout track from that project.
At number 18, I have Walk On By Anderson .Paak and Knowledge featuring Earl Sweatshirt and Ray Khalil. God, this song literally brings a tear to my eye. You know what I'm saying? It's just so like, I don't know. I like when somebody's at peace with pain. It's obviously pain that is settled and Anderson has kind of come to terms with it, but still gonna break his heart every time you walk on by,
Definitely.
And Earl Sweatshirt collabing with Anderson .Paak is another match made in heaven.
We needed that.
It works so well.
At number 18, I have MMS by Asake and Wizkid. Probably my favorite song on Ashake's new project, Lungu Boy. I love the way that he comes in on this. When I was a child. That shit is so hard to me. Again, Wizkid and him are probably at the forefront of Afrobeat for this year. Both of them dropped amazing projects, and I think that this was a seamless collab between the two of them.
For my number 18, I'm going to go with Vanity by Tommy Richmond. The more I listen to the Tommy Richmond project, this has been probably my favorite track on it. I don't know why. I think it is because it's a little bit longer and gives me a little bit more like length when it comes to just like listening. I don't know. I think Tommy Richmond had an amazing, phenomenal year, but I think this is a standout from his project. I really like it.
I'm gonna take a quick break here to let everyone know that if you are watching and maybe you haven't heard some of these songs, or maybe you just want to listen to them all again, we put all of them on a playlist. It's on Spotify and Apple Music. The link is in the description. Go follow that and just listen to everything that we've really loved from the year.
Also, let us know who has the best list.
Yeah, you could do that too. At number 17, I have Rich Ass Haitian by Makami, K Tronada, and O3 Greedo. A song that like really broke out of the Makami world.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because he's like very much in a pocket. But this one kind of reached the masses. Like I had some like women like talk to me about this song and be like, yo, you heard this Makami song? I was like, yo, I didn't know you knew who Makami was. You know what I mean? But like super groovy track. O3 Greedo delivers an incredible hook. And there's just like it's super groovy. K Tronada brings a great beat, and Makami kind of flows on it in a different way than he normally does.
I know. That's one that low-key slipped my mind. I had to consider that song a little bit. That's a really, really strong cut.
It's a slap.
Number 17, I have UCU by Capella Gray. The whole Vibe Responsibly album was in my rotation this entire year. I think Capella's making the most fun outside R&B music right now for the men especially. This is a subtle anthem. If you hear this, you're going to want to sing along. You're going to want to dance. I think people get this one from the moment you press play easily.
Yeah, I forgot about this one. This is the one that I missed. It's a banger.
My number 17 is Last Heartbreak Song by Ira and Giveon. Very unexpected collab. And obviously, we talked about the Ira album having a lot of standout songs. But this to me was my favorite just in terms of like back-to-back listening quality. I miss Giveon. I haven't heard from him in a little while. You know, so to hear him going back and forth with Ira on an R&B, not even Afrobeat, just simply an R&B track, like it was nice, and I like the storytelling they did with the back and forth on it.
Definitely.
So yeah, that is my 17.
One of the stronger cuts on that album, definitely.
At 16, I have Active by Asake and Travis Scott.
Fire.
A collab that when I initially saw it, I was confused. It didn't necessarily make the most sense, but as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I think Asake really did bring Travis Scott into his world. But I think Travis brought a perfect amount of energy, because there is a lot of energy in Asake music. You know what I mean? And to me, this is a song that just makes me want to party. You know what I mean? Makes me want to be in a dark club with the music slapping, people all around me, liquor, all of it. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what I get from this. Or on the track, it's also like a really good workout song.
Facts.
But yeah, I love that song.
My number 16 song of the year is There For You by Greek. Another artist who I think we've really shown love to on this platform for the last couple of years. I think that his new album, while I maybe didn't grab a ton of songs off it, this one was a standout amongst his entire catalog. Real yearner music. This dude is able to put like love and just wanting someone into such beautiful words, but the production is epic on this one. The guitar is crazy. The piano is amazing throughout. Really, really well produced song.
My number 16 is Make It to the Morning by Party Next Door. I stated earlier in a different video that I feel like Party Next Door, even though I didn't put him in my top 10, had one of his best albums since P1 to me, with P4. And I feel like Make It to the Morning is a standout track for me for sure. It is classic Party Next Door, but a little bit more of like an energetic electric feel. The content is similar, but I think it's one of his best written songs too. So it gives me that P1 feel. When I first heard P1 when I was in, what was that, high school, middle school? Probably high school. Yeah. And I don't know, it gave me the same feeling that I felt when I first heard him. So
this was probably his best body of work in a minute. He came back strong.
For sure.
Better album cover next time, bro.
Yeah.
Number 15, I have Are You Down by Layla. Just an incredible exhibition of talent. You know what I mean? I think there are a lot of moments. I think the chords in that, the progression and the writing, like from a music standpoint, was super impressive. It was a great vocal performance. I won't get too much into it because I kind of feel like we'll probably hear about it later.
My number 15 song of the year is New Drop by Don Toliver. If you were around me at any point during the summer after this came out, this was one of probably 2 or 3 songs I had to play when I got in the car. Really, really high energy, great mix of like dance, hip hop, perfect production for Don Toliver's voice. And definitely, I think, an underrated high note from the album. I think this is something that people are going to go back to and just continue to listen to, and I hope it'll stand the test of time because it feels like something that would feel perfectly in like any outside environment, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, really love that song.
My number 15 is "Piece of My Heart" by Wizkid and Brent. Honestly, I would put this higher, but I'm a little bit more in love with the second half than I am the first half.
I agree.
I do think I think as a song, it is phenomenal. But I think that second half just like catches my attention a little bit more. I think especially Brent is super impressive in his vocal performance on the track. And just, I don't know, I think what he's talking about too on the second half rather than the first is a little bit more engaging. But super impressed with the collaboration and how well it worked. I do think Wizkid and Brent, I wouldn't necessarily think about it, but like they made it make sense.
Definitely.
And it is, a great, it might age even more because it literally just came out, but great, end of year contender.
All right, at number 14, I have The Old Switcheroo by Boldy James and Conductor Williams. My favorite song off Across the Tracks. And to me, one of the most impressive Boldy James rap performances of his career, which is obviously saying a lot. If you listen to the show, we hold him in pretty high regards as, maybe one of the best rappers alive. Just the bars are impeccable and like the essence of what Boldy does. And Conductor gives him a ton of space to cook. Just a really must listen if you're like a lyrics fan.
My number 14 song of the year is Mutt by Leon Thomas, the original version. I know we've talked a lot about the Freddie Gibbs version. Amazing. I just think that this is one of the best displays of R&B shit talking all year.
Yeah.
And I love how Leon sounds on this, so I want him to just go the entire way. But again, we've said everything we need to say about Leon. This album is well written, well produced, and this is the title track for a reason. The wordplay is amazing. I already smoked some part of my bluntness, obviously calling himself a dog, but he has to go further and say I'm a mutt, not just a regular dog.
Yeah.
There's things like that throughout the song and just throughout the project that really show that Leon is going to make a bop, but also has something that you can like still gain stuff from with every listen.
My number 14 song is Highway by Shaboozey. I feel like this song, again, when I listened to the Shaboozey project, I was surprisingly impressed at the songwriting, but also the depth he goes into in terms of emotion and conveying it. I think Highway is a peak on the project where he talks about not wanting to be somebody who like died on the highway with all his regrets, like somebody who wants to like live life to the fullest, make sure that he's not, squandering any opportunity. And yeah, I think it's a beautiful song, stand out on the project for me. And Shaboozey's had a hell of a year.
At number 13, I have For Certain by Party Next Door.
Fire.
Yeah, this is just like my automatic get the aux at a pregame, at a function. This is the first thing that's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think everyone loves this song. I think it kind of turns everyone up. And it's just, you can move to it for real. You know what I mean? That was a standout for me from P4, and I play the shit out of that song.
I played the shit out of that. That was a hard one not to include.
Yeah.
At number 13, I have Green Therapy by Tommy Richmond. I knew that I was going to pick a song off this project, and it was really between this one and Whitney for me. And I think that maybe right now, Whitney is a song I want people to hear, but with Green Therapy, it combines all the amazing things I love about Tommy. His voice is so different on this. If you love that high-pitched register that he goes into, the background at the end is just so masterfully placed to where I think that's the first time on the album he uses his vocal range as a tool and kind of sparingly instead of over singing, which I think some people maybe have a little bit of a gripe with. Obviously going into the stuff about his family and his father and all of that getting very, very personal, make the song sound amazing. But I think as he continues to progress in his career and become the star that I think he will become, people are going to go back to this song and be like, wow, look at him so early developing his storytelling. And I'm going to get a little bit more of the man behind the mask on this song too.
My number 13 song is Help Me by Real Boston Richie.
Help me.
I just feel like if you find yourself outside at 5 a.m. in the streets,
You need help.
you feel me? If you are texting mad women at one time, mad niggas at one time, and you just don't know what you're doing with your life,
Help me.
this is the song for you. This man made an anthem for people seeking help, and I love it. I love every bit of it, and I love that it's a club banger too. I love that people like go out and sing it word for word. I don't know. I think obviously Boston Richie has had an extremely big year with this single, but I love every word of the song. I love every moment of it. The video is fire too. So shout out to Boston, man.
Don't go to therapy. Play Boston Richie.
There you go. At number 12, I have Like That by Future and Metro Boomin. It might be a little low for honestly the moment and the impact that this song had. You could make a claim for this being the song of the year. But I just had a lot. I won't even get into that now.
He didn't want to put multiple Future songs in his.
I had to spread the love around. But this was an undeniable song. Huge, incredible slap. Obviously, surprise Kendrick verse that shook up the whole scene and really sparked the Drake Kendrick beef. But even without the Kendrick verse, this song is incredible.
Yeah.
Future is talking shit like crazy. Maybe my favorite part of the song isn't even the Kendrick verse, but it's the last part where Future's rapping and they just like slowly turn him down, but he still is like getting his shit off. Metro made one of the most anthemic instrumentals of the entire year and maybe the most recognizable one. Like that should probably be on all of our top 20s.
Like That is Like That.
Yeah.
At number 12, I have Forever by Tim's. Again, another project where I knew there was going to be some song that found its way on here. This was the one that constantly had me going back to it, which is interesting because from a subject matter standpoint, maybe a little bit heavier than some of the like easier to listen to, Free Fall, Love Me JJ, that type of stuff. But it's that beat for me, and it's the way that Tim's floats over it, honestly. The way that she starts the song out, calling herself a hot stepper, is incredible to me. But probably my favorite song on Born in the Wild, which was one of my favorite albums of the year. And if I ever just didn't know what to play, I could put on this song, and I'm happy.
My number 12 is Too Fast by Future. I love it, bro. I think similar to Help Me by Boston Richie, it's like, it's a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale, bro.
I hate this nigga.
It's like an OG sitting you down and just being like, yo, bro, I see the way you're moving, but you're moving too fast.
Too fast.
You're spending too much money on these women. You're buying too much alcohol. You live in you just moving
too many
fast.
chains.
Too many chains. Like, we see you getting money, but slow down. We're getting like more mature Future. We're getting an educated Future. We're getting Future that's like, all right, like, I'm gonna give you some game real quick. Like, don't move like this. I love the record. I think it deserves to be in everybody's top list for the year.
At number 11, I have Third Coast by Tizo Touchdown. A song that came out in the first week of the year and has not left my rotation since.
I didn't even know it was this year. That's a great fucking pick.
I think it's just really a great showcase of everything that Tizo does. 3 songs jam-packed into 2.5 minutes. All 3 of them heaters. Everyone kind of has a different favorite. There are so many fun moments. I don't know. This is a song that I love playing loud in my car, singing with my friends. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is definitely a song that made me more of a fan of Tizo. As you know, I haven't loved everything Tizo's done. This one is undeniable.
Yeah.
I really sat with this one, and it has grown on me steadily throughout the year. This shit is impressive as fuck.
Yeah, that's a great song.
My number 11 song of the year is Calypso by Bryson Titler. This was a spot that was actually for certain by Party Next Door for a long time. But as I got going on throughout the year, I think that it's important to really say when these songs come on, because you need a song when you're in an outside environment, a little bit of party pregame environment. You need something that the girls and the guys is going to like, not too aggressive, something that can set the mood a little bit. Calypso fits that vibe perfectly. It makes you want to dance. It's easy to catch on to and sing along. The production is so fucking good for an R&B song.
Yeah.
And then Bryson obviously just bodies it, kills his flows, amazing runs, great vocal performance. This is an anthem for me.
For my number 11, I am putting down Like That by Future and Metro.
Okay.
Nice.
I just feel like we've said all there is to say about this record. It catapulted a huge moment, not only for this year, but for hip hop history. But it's also just a banger. You feel me? Like, even like Spencer said, even without the Kendrick verse, it's like Future's really talking that talk on the first half. The Metro Boomin production is incredible. It is one of the most electric beats that we've heard this year. I love the song. You could play anywhere, party, gym, in the whip. It's incredible. So I'm putting it at number 11 for my top songs of the year.
Here we go. Top 10 time.
Big 10.
At number 10, I have Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish.
Okay.
A smash hit that honestly I think deserved every last bit of spin, every last bit of play that it got. I think it's really special when there's a song of this quality but that also like resonates with the masses and does 1 billion streams in 4 months. But still, you listen to it and you're like, no, this is like storytelling, songwriting, production, all 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? I don't think that happens that often. And we got lucky this year with one of the best smash hits I've heard in a long time. The entire Billie Eilish album, Hit Me Hard and Soft, is a really great listen. But this was obviously the peak and a song that I love to play.
My number 10 song of the year is Skur by Mike and Tony Seltzer.
Yep.
I mean, why you always by the rim, but you're not scoring is probably the hardest way you could open up a rap song.
Yeah.
I got thunder in this woods. I like God snoring.
Yeah.
The quotables on this are easily my favorite reason why this is like one of the best rap songs of the year, just songs of the year, period.
Yep.
I think that what Mike was able to do across this whole project was not dumb down his lyrics, but really be like, yeah, y'all know the deep message shit that I always do. Let's have fun for a second.
Yeah.
Let me just let y'all know that I rap better than you. I still get money. I look flyer than you.
He's gonna cut that out.
This was Mike talking his shit to the highest level, and Tony once again gave him an amazing beat with a fire ass beat switch too, like halfway through.
My number 10 song of the year is Luther by Kendrick and SZA. Honestly, incredible little B-side cut on this project. And I know calling a B-side is kind of funny, but I think on a project that was very almost like aggressive and shit talking and like really lean heavily on the West Coast, this song stood out to me because obviously softer cut, R&B cut, and then like surprise SZA feature. Just casually throwing her in there and then wrapping it up with the tour, I think was amazing. And then obviously the Luther sample is incredible, you know?
Yeah.
I just easy listening song. And when Kendrick and SZA collab, it's always a great time. You feel me?
I was not expecting this to be the hit.
Yeah. Wait, why?
What
Wait,
else
why?
would be the hit? I mean, Squabble Up in this.
I thought Squabble Up, TV Off. I thought one of those songs, like just off first listen, I'm like, these sound like the hits. But then this one is streaming the highest on Billboard. It just surprised me a little bit. But of course, it does make sense. It's SZA.
I think it's SZA. I think
Yeah.
that's really what it is. I mean, obviously great cut, but I think that her influence is undeniable at this point.
At number 9, I've got Burned by Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign.
Wow.
Still love this song. Still play the shit out of this song. Still have not stopped. It's a classic Kanye song. You know what I mean? Aside from one cringe bar, that's literally it. This is like a really classic retro Kanye song. It's everything we love about him. The beat is insane. The hook has been stuck in my head for 9 months straight. Ty does great. And I love the Kanye verse. I love everything about the Kanye verse minus dying of gout. You know? I heard R. Kelly in the next Balenciaga ad. Like, that's fire to me. I just really, if this is all we got from the whole Vultures series, I still won't be upset because I got a Kanye song that I think is incredible.
My number 9 song of the year is Nissan Altima by Doechii.
Nice.
While this may be the single off an amazing body of work in Alligator Bites Never Heal, I think that the energy that she brought with this, the technical rapping, how it goes live, again, that NPR live performance really, really set this song over the top for me specifically. Doechii is talking her shit. She gives you all the fast rap bars, but then the melodies too. Like her flow on this is super interesting. It brings the energy when she's put the motherfucking money in my motherfucking hands. Like I got Gucci, I got whatever, bro. Like that part is what seals it for me. So her best performance of the year, I think. I mean, there's a million Doechii songs you could probably pick, but this is the one that I thought was the best one.
My number 9 is Witchy by Kaytranada.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is everything I wanted from Childish Gambino this year, and I felt like I didn't get from his project. Just like a fun melodic dance record. I feel like he always delivers us one of those, right? Things like that where it's more fun and lighthearted and something you can really groove to. I feel like he kind of gave us like heavy music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously over Kaytranada production, like he delivered. This is a pair that I need to see way more of.
For sure.
Honestly, collab album,
I'd love that.
That would be
I think
insane.
that would be amazing. We
That'd
need
be
that.
insane. Great pick. At number 8, I have All to Myself by Future, Metro Boomin, and The Weeknd. Just a real highlight from We Still Don't Trust You. You know what I mean? I think this song, if you boiled that whole album down to this song, it would make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is the peak. It's everything they were going for, executed to a T. And The Weeknd comes in and sounds absolutely beautiful on his part, you know, and it's one of my favorite instrumentals on here too. Shout out Metro.
At number 8, I have Praise Jah in the Moonlight by YG Marley. If you watched our mid-year list, this was my song of the year at the midway point. Fell down a little bit, but I still think this is the best feel-good song of the year. Again, I think that people of all ages will be able to resonate with this song. It's something that will just, it's like a warm hug.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have some shit going on, if you just came back from work after a tough day, whatever, you can put this song on and feel good, have your spirits lifted up. Super easy to sing along to. It's very infectious music. I think this is an underrated song of the year for sure. And a great look for him. You know, it's great to see Lauren pop out and support him so much too. This made me get like some family vibes.
For my number 8 pick, I would like to go with 25 by Rod Wave.
I knew he was gonna come with some raw way. I was like, you done? Let me get to my bullshit.
I think that, you know, I talked about it in albums. Rod Wave has had a career-defining year. But I mean, he's been the most consistent, probably one of the most consistent artists of our generation at this point. And I feel like 25 is one of his best songs in his new step into pop stardom. I think it is a little bit more mainstream. I think it's a little bit more relatable with the messaging. It's something anyone can get behind, right? Everyone knows the feeling of being 25 or like just getting a year older and like not really knowing where your life is going or not really feeling like you're steering the ship. I think he beautifully captures that in this song. And yeah, I just wanted to put him on my list because Last Lap has a lot of great songs, but I think this is probably the best one that he wrote. The best songwriting, I think, probably.
I'm not mad at that. I love 25. So that's one I grabbed from the album too. At 7, I have Witchy by Kaytranada and Childish Gambino. Osei touched on it, said a lot of what I was going to say, but yeah, I mean, it's just one of the best vocalists of our generation with one of the best dance producers of our generation. Like, of course, it's going to be like an all-time slap, you know?
Yeah,
One of the easiest songs to put on, song for all occasions.
definitely.
It's shit's got crack in it.
My number 7 song of the year is Like Him by Tyler, the Creator. Picking the song off Chromacopia was nearly impossible. I think that what made this album really, really resonate with me over the last couple of weeks was seeing how the public has taken to it and just the different ways that a song like Saint Chroma, a song like Him are able to leave and kind of infiltrate the sports world and TikTok and just different people who I feel like shouldn't be, but I just wouldn't expect them to be fans of Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
And just the ways that people have been able to really use a song that's so emotional and really about like, everyone has always known that Tyler's had these issues with his father throughout his entire career. I think that's been a really, really big point of all of his music and just like that's been his why, I think, for a very, very long time. And this is everything coming full circle, everything coming to a head, him finally getting what looks like a little bit of closure on such a major issue, but it sounds beautiful. The Baby Keem part, I know that we're always like, I wish there was a Keem verse. I want more from Keem. Artistically, I love it because it's almost like this is all you even needed from Keem. He did exactly what it needed to do. It's like I don't know. You left wanting more a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just so perfect. That big explosion near the end of the song is probably one of my favorite musical moments of the year.
That little synth solo?
Yeah.
Like
What? That shit is incredible. The bark that he does, the wolf or whatever, that shit is so hard to me.
Yeah. No, that's a great pick.
For my number 7, I'm going with 616 in LA by Kendrick. Honestly, to me, and you know, we'll have this debate because I got to talk more a little bit, but I feel like this was one of the better songs from the beef. Because I definitely feel like, obviously, in rap battles and beef, you got to respond quickly. But this to me felt like, even though it was a quick response, the most well-constructed song. From like the whole idea of, I think like Drake had dissed him earlier saying something about like Taylor Swift like got you beat or whatever. It's like Jack Antonoff produces it, right? Like Jack Antonoff is Taylor Swift's producer, right? And they work together on shit. I think that's clever. I think the whole thing about 616 in LA being Father's Day, I think that's really clever. I think him poking holes in his theory about, you know, you're talking about Twitter bots, but you work with Zach Bia to like, you know, Twitter farm shit and all that. And then he ends the whole song about talking about like what would Mike would do and you have a mole in your camp. You know, I feel like this is like one of the best well-constructed songs, not to mention that the sample is Al Green. And like, I think Drake's father had worked with Al Green back in the day or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I just felt like it was the best constructed diss track.
At number 6, I have Reincarnated by Kendrick Lamar. One of his best songs ever to me. To be completely honest, I am obsessed with this song, the story that he's telling, the different perspectives he takes on, and the conversation he has at the end that could either be interpreted as Kendrick speaking to God or the devil speaking to God. You know, there's a lot of layers, but just sonically, I love it. I love him really leaning into the LA sound and like doing like a whole Tupac thing, you know, using like interpolating and using one of his beats as well as kind of more in his flow and in kind of in his tone of voice. Yeah, this song just was so incredible to me. I love this song. It's probably my favorite GNX song. So yeah, it's number 6.
My number 6 song of the year is Witchy, Kaytranada and Childish Gambino. I'm happy that all three of us were able to include this song. I think that when we all heard it for the first time, we probably knew it was going to be included on year-end list.
Yeah.
If you like Kaytranada, you're going to love this song. If you like Childish Gambino, you're going to love this song. It's one of those 10%, you're the one, like be your girl type vibes from Kaytranada.
Yeah.
Something that's going to be played at all of his concerts for a very, very long time. You're going to hear this at the club. You're going to hear this at festivals. It's just a great dance song.
For my number 6, I'm gonna go with "Squabble Up" by Kendrick Lamar.
Squabble Up.
I don't know what draws me to this song. I think like I think I'm being reintroduced or introduced for the first time to a whole new dance wave that I wasn't really familiar with. I think this like, and I don't know what the technical term is, but this like West Coast, like I guess like G-funk like movement and like this sound is so different and unique to me. And I also just like the way that he kind of like starts it off. He was a snippet in the Not Like Us music video. So I guess I was anticipating it, but I think off of GNX, I've been listening to this one nonstop in terms of like more of an upbeat vibe. Like I mentioned Luther earlier, but this being one of the more favorable like rap, but also like dance tracks that I like listen to and ride around to.
That's what was in my headphones when I was kicking you guys' ass in at the race.
Damn, here we go.
Yeah, a little squabble up.
Oh, brother.
Squabble up. Squabble up.
This guy's going to brag about the race until next year.
For sure. You would have done way worse. All right, at number 5, I have Residuals by Chris Brown.
Oh, God.
I love it.
Wow, this
I love
song
it.
was so fucking incredible and caught me so off guard. If you guys listen, and y'all know I'm not the biggest Chris Brown fan. I was even like a borderline Chris Brown hater
Been trying to put him on for years.
coming into the year,
guys.
but wow, I heard this shit, and this is one of the most beautiful songs I'd ever heard. And like, I don't know how like you could sound so godly, you know, singing about something so messy, bro. Such a messy song, you know what I mean? But like,
I love your love for this song. I can't
oh my
lie.
God, I love it. And it makes no sense. Like, I don't really relate to the subject matter. I don't really like Chris Brown that much.
Yeah, I don't know why this is the one that connected for you so
I don't
much.
know either, but this song, I cannot stop playing. It's top 5 song of the year for me, for sure.
Wow. Well, I mean, I feel a lot of those same sentiments about my top 5 song. My number 5 song of the year is Heart of a Woman by Summer Walker. Again, if you are close to me and you know how I feel about music and you heard this song, you could probably anticipate that I was going to put this very, very high on my song of the year list. I love Summer Walker, and I think this is her all the way in her classic R&B bag. This feels like some shit straight out the 90s. Again, her lyrics are always going to be very, very well written, but never doing too much. Like, it feels like a regular person could still digest them and relate to them and understand it. You're not peeling back a ton of layers. It's just 10 out of 10 execution from an R&B standpoint. Vocal production, melodies, regular production, checks every box.
My number 5 is Yeah by Ashake.
Yeah.
I love this song. I love this song, and I don't even really know what's going on. Like, Ashake just hit a whole new dance wave that, again, I was not really familiar with. And his music is already electric. So like, I think him and his vocals over this like new age dance beat really like grabbed me. And I want to hear more music like this from him. It'd be exciting if some like young, like new producer DJ in the electronic space grabbed him and made a few songs with him. I think that would be incredible because I need more of whatever this is.
At number 4, I have How Many Miles by McGee. I've talked a lot about this project, but I think it's something that's super different and kind of fills a hole that nothing else really did this year. Super emotional project. And this is, to me, the best song on here. It's a song that's like slower and kind of melancholy, but also like there's like nodes of hope. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a song that I think could fit a lot of different emotions, but the common denominator is emotion. You know what I mean?
My number 4 song of the year is Like That, Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar. This song is probably the most quality song to come out of the beef to me. I love that Future absolutely bodied his verse on this. I think that if he wouldn't have came correct and this was all centered around a Kendrick Lamar diss, I might have a different tone with this song. But you take Kendrick's part out, like you said, and this is still a thumper. Metro bodied shit. And it was something new and refreshing. It wasn't just standard Future Metro Boomin shit that we've heard a million times before. They brought a whole new type of energy to this that was fitting of the moment that was about to happen.
Yeah.
I think that from start to finish, you're on go with this song. You can play it in the gym, in the car, whatever. It doesn't really like the replay value of this song doesn't hinge on the beef, which is why I love it so much. Yet it still delivered the perfect first blow to an amazing 2024.
My number 4 is Luna by Fade and ATL Jacob. Yeah, amazing dance track that dropped earlier this year, and I feel like it's lasted throughout the year. I think whenever I go out, especially like to any like Spanish parties, whatever, I still hear it. And it's a great dance track. And I love the combination of him and ATL Jacob. Like it's to me, it's super random, but I guess like, you know, behind closed doors, we know how the music industry works. People just kind of like are DMing each other and collaborating. I would not have seen this coming, but I think they made an incredible song. And again, I think I'd like to hear more dance music from ATL Jacob. I don't know if that's really his bag or not, but interesting collaboration. But fire collaboration, one of the best songs of the year.
At number 3, I have Skur by Mike and Tony Seltzer.
Yeah.
No song makes me feel this good. No song. I spoke about it in the albums, but this is like my last song I play upon arrival. You know what I mean? Hopping out to the party, to the spot, to the function, to a big interview, a big day at work. It don't matter. Like nothing is gonna like juice me up. You know what I mean? Like really get me going. Like Skur. You were talking about the quotables. So fun. The beat switch is fire too, because it's not like a full switch. It's almost like he just like speeds it up and like changes pitch a little bit. Yeah, this song is infectious to a T.
My number 3 song of the year is Are You Down by Layla. This is my favorite song to talk about. This is my favorite album to talk about. This is my favorite artist to talk about right now. I think that Layla, once again, is going to be a superstar. And if you want to know why, play the song. The run that she hits in the middle of this, I'd press play because obviously now I know where the song is going. I just can't wait for people to get to that part and see their reaction, because every single time it's like, oh, I get why you were hyping this up so crazy now.
Yeah.
But again, the fucking production and the chord progression on this, Spencer, is so dope for someone so young in their career. Again, you see like the little bit of Tyler influence. Obviously, it's like 90s, early 2000s R&B influence. She's pulling from so many different places, but it all feels very unique to her, because there was no other R&B song that scratched this itch for me.
Yeah.
I always want to hear this kind of Pharrell, Tyler inspired R&B music, and I haven't quite found a new artist who can all the way satisfy that for me. Layla does that in spades, and this is the best song on the project easily.
My number 3 is Mutt by Leon Thomas and Freddie Gibbs.
Yep.
Simply because Leon Thomas made me pick up my phone and listen to more Freddie Gibbs music.
Yep.
That is an impossible task, and he accomplished it. And I just think that I love this song. Let's not get that twisted. But I also want to put him up here because I do feel like he's going to creep into superstardom, and we just don't know it yet. I think he has the connections. I think that he's been working for a while, and I feel like he's decided he wants to release music front facing. So I'm super excited. I think we talked about it earlier. Kind of feels Frank Oceanish, and I'm not sure why, but I think it is because he's developing a new sound that we're not hearing in R&B. So this song is perfect to me. Yeah, that's my number 3.
At number 2, I have From Here by Anderson .Paak and Knowledge featuring October London. Real yearner music. Real windows down crying in the rain. You know what I mean? Where did you go? I don't know.
Where do I go?
It's honestly just like the emotional climax of what is a really emotional body of art. and it's super smooth too. It introduced me to October London, who
Facts.
like really is incredible, really like Marvin Gaye-esque. You know what I mean? And what he does on this song, we both thought it was a sample.
Yeah.
You know, we were like really caught off guard because it's like that. It sounds super classic, super old school. But yeah, overall a song I could not stop playing this year, and a song that fits more moods and more vibes than I initially would have thought for such a yearning song.
My number 2 song of the year is Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. I think we all could have anticipated that this was going to make it on everybody's list, I would hope, because this is the song that put the nail in the coffin in the beef.
Yeah.
I think that this kind of ended everything, ended all conversation. I think that it opened the door for what we got with one of the best projects in the year in GNX. None of this exists without Kendrick embracing the West Coast, embracing the LA sound, embracing Mustard, and doing what had to be done to make the statements that he needed to make this entire year.
Yeah.
If he would have just left it on Not Like Us, while we obviously would have wanted more music, that would have been a good enough statement to ride out the rest of the year on.
Yeah.
Give us more music next year, because it was so powerful and so calculated and so well timed. Everything about this makes it probably the best or one of the best rap diss songs ever.
Yeah.
It was fitting of the moment, fitting of the magnitude. Kendrick delivered from a bar standpoint, a comedy standpoint. Mustard came through and gave us a crazy beat. It again, like, there's nothing more that you could really want out of a song in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm
Agreed.
happy to see rap kind of get revived by it too.
I think I'm going to continue on the theme of diss tracks because my number 2 is Euphoria. Yeah, I mean, I think that I talked about 616 in LA being the most put together diss track and the most well thought out. But I do feel like Euphoria was the most seething in a way. Because Not Like Us, to me, like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of punches thrown. But it feels more like playful and fun in the way that, like, I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like Kendrick pulled a Drake on Drake with Not Like Us, where it's just more like playful, it's more taunting, and he's saying scathing things for sure. But Euphoria was just like on some menacing and like,
Yeah.
I hate you, and this is going to get real if you don't listen to this and back down.
Yeah.
And not that we ever doubted him, but he delivered all the way through. So I feel like to start it with a track like this, and that joint's like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, 5-6 minutes for hatred is crazy.
The intro is so fire. Just the way he's kind of like, yo, I really don't want to have to do this, but
Yeah.
Exactly.
if you make me.
So yeah, that's my number 2. That moment cannot be understated in my opinion. So
I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk. I hate the way that you dress. My number 1 song of the year is Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar.
Damn.
I halfway through the year post beef, I came in here and said it was Not Like Us. And obviously I don't want to downplay the cultural impact and obviously the stature of Not Like Us. But the more I listen to Euphoria, the more I agree with you. Where this is where the kill shots were delivered. You know what I mean? Like Not Like Us sealed the deal, but it did feel like he was crip walking on his grave. Like you said in the
Yeah.
reaction, you know what I mean? This might have been where the battle was won, to be honest, because I go back to this song and I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like this is like you said, hateful. And the 2 parts, the intro, one of my favorite parts, and then the Cardo beat is so hype. I don't know. This is a song that like for a diss track has an insane amount of replay value for me. This is my favorite song to work out to
Wow.
in the entire world.
With just pure evil in your heart.
I hate the way that you walk, I hate the way you talk, I hate the way you dress. This was my race training soundtrack.
yo,
Yeah.
crazy.
My number 1 song of the year is Commas by Ira Star. I think that, again, if you know me, you've been around me. This has easily been my favorite album of the entire year. And I think that this is the standout from her on this. My whole theme throughout the year has been feel-good music, stuff that you can play for anybody, stuff that's uplifting in any mood. No song has made me happier. No song has been played as much. No song I think I'm going to carry on with me as far as this song. Like the whole sentiment, I carry God, so I fear nothing, I think is just something that anyone could really honestly take something from. Like you have to chase the person you want to become without fear, without any self-doubt. I think that this is really, really empowerment music. So Ira really bodied it. I'm happy that this was my favorite song of the year for so long.
My number 1 song of the year is Heart Part 6 by Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. I'm not mad at you.
I am.
we not only get an amazing storytelling track, but we get the resolution to what happened with Black Hippie.
Yeah.
And to me, I know you guys don't think that I'm like super into TDE or like rapidy rap or whatever, but I think everybody remembers the Black Hippie era and like what that could have been. Like we were waiting for that superpower, that conglomerate. You know what I mean? And it just never happened. They kept teasing projects that never dropped. And I think that low-key as a fan, I needed that. I was like, okay, cool. So he's taking responsibility for the fact that this never happened. We never got this music. And he's also teaching you and like kind of almost in like a big bro, a mentor figure type way. Like, yo, like this never happened and there may have been some issues with it, but it's all resolved. We talked it through. Like if you're really family, like go piece it up, pick up the phone. You know what I mean? Like we talked through all this stuff and like, yeah, I know the fans didn't know, but like this is what was going on behind the scenes. I wanted more. I wanted to be an executive. I wanted to have a solo career. Me and Top had been working on stuff for a minute. You know, this is still my family regardless. And then to see kind of throughout the rollout, obviously he's been close with TDE and just performed with all of them. I don't know. I think something about that song gives me closure.
Yeah, and there's just like so many other layers. Like, of course, the Use Your Heart sample is just perfect for a song called The Heart. But then like Pharrell produced Use Your Heart by SWV, another layer into like the Drake.
See, I didn't even know
like,
that.
There's so much, and you never know. Like, I think by a certain point, like when I talk about that song, I think that that's more of a testament to when you're like aligned and like doing things the right way, things fall into place. Because I really don't, I refuse to believe that Kendrick just so happened to pick the SWV song Use Your Heart that was produced by Pharrell. Like he knew all of that going in, but the fact that that's an added bonus can't hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
It really is great
song.
closure on a lot of things and kind of ties, it like puts a bow on the story of Kendrick Lamar as it is right now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And now he can continue to be Kendrick Lamar, PG Lang, the executive. He can move on to this new chapter, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like that pick.
Look at that. That's our top songs of 2024. Good job, guys. Any surprises? Any picks you were really, really excited to talk about?
I mean, Heart Part 6 surprised me.
Oh, Say had was 4 out of your 5, Kendrick? Your top 5?
4? Ooh, no,
I feel like there was mad Kendrick in there.
Euphoria and Heart. I don't think I
And like that?
Well, yeah, but that's a future song.
True.
That was big. I feel like mine was pretty predictable. Spencer, yours was good. I can't think of anything that threw me off.
I was so ready to get on here and talk about Chris Brown.
Yeah, I was excited about that. What Chromacopia song did you have? Did you have any
I didn't put
Chromacopia?
one, no.
Wow.
Like there's some of those albums that are just so strong all the way through. It wasn't like I needed to highlight one. I thought about Take Your Mask Off.
Yeah. That was me with GNX, honestly. I thought about Heart Part 6. I really did. But I'm like, I gave it enough
Oh, I
shine.
did put Squabble up on there too.
Oh yeah, you had a lot of
You had a lot of
I've
Kendrick.
been listening to a lot of Kendrick for sure.
you and everyone else.
Yeah, I think this was a great year. Happy to wrap up this content, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Comment down below. Let us know your favorite song of the year. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.